Johnny, we're standing in a freshly harvested field here.
Yeah.
And there's spuds at your feet.
Yeah.
But you haven't come up with this little of an invention, have you?
I have a bad back, and I have this lad here. He's called, I call him the spud picker. But anyway, it's an old thing that I made up. It's a bit of an old bottom of a plastic container on a bit of 2x1, and it saves me bending over. Bending over when you're 72 years of age is not as easy as what it used to be. So I devised this lad anyway, and it's great. And I just go along the top of the drill there like that, and I'll find a little spud. Now there's a lovely spud. There's another one. Look at. They're not too big. They're not too small. But there's a dinner in them. And I would never have to buy spuds this time of the year when I'd be over here. I'd pick them up like that, and I'd go up along the drill there. Look at, there's another one. Look. Bring them home now, and they cost you nothing. If you go down to the supermarket, they'll be about €3 a kilo. So we're trying to save a few bob when you get to our age, you know. That's the way it is. And that old lad there now was in bed one night thinking. I do an awful lot of thinking, and I come up with that. But it's great now. Look, there's a bucket of spuds picked up, and I didn't even have to bend over once. And I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't even eat a quart of them. But I know a few people up in the village who would love to have a few for the dinner, you know. So we'll all get a feed out of them, you know. And then you'd never know, you know. I'm back home living here now 20 years, and we have our old friends. We do a bit of fishing, and one lad might give you a fish, and I might give the other lad a few spuds, and you know the way you be wheeling and dealing. It's a bit of crack. And if you're down the pub then, and you might even get an old pint sometime, you know what I mean? So that's the way life is around here now.
So them few spuds could get you an extra pint this evening?
Well, it could, you would, yeah. God, this is the weekend now, you see. We'll have the visitors down from Dublin. And if there's a couple of lads that I know, we do a bit of fishing together. So if he had an extra fish, I might end up with a fish. He'll have his dinner of spuds. And I'd always have a few bits grown in the garden. I'd have the wiltons, the mahas, and I'd have my own strawberries, and that'd be organic stuff. And we'd all be eating well. Very cheap. And that's the way life is. This Michelin star, Michel Roux and all these, I ate in them restaurants in London most of my life. 2-star, 3-star. Michel Roux's father has a 3-star. He has a degree in food science. Now there's one for you. The man is 86 today. I ate in his kitchen in his famous restaurant out in Henley-on-Thames. They're called the Waterside Inn and Bray. I ate there many times. But not too many people around Blackwater now would understand that. But, and here we are. I would have more respect for them few spuds, a head of lettuce on my garden, a bunch of onions, and a little sea trout. I would have more respect for that than I would for Michel Roux or any of the rest of the Roux either, for that matter. The Lag Gavroche, Gordon Ramsay, Hessel Blumenthal, all these guys. I've eaten in all their restaurants. Not because I was a wealthy man, it was part of my work. And
but you wouldn't, you'd
still come back to Blackwater.
And come back to your
come back to my roots.
And your bucket of spuds.
And my bucket of spuds. And as the fella said, I used to say around here one time, you wouldn't hear too much of it now, but I'd be as happy as a pig in shit. And that's the way life is for me. So I always sit back and think about the days when I left the village to feed the family, to stop them from starving with the hunger. And I was young, and I didn't have a lot of education. But I've had a nice life, and I retired at 50 and I'm back. And I'm now just doing what I missed out on really as a child. I'm reliving my childhood. And I love every day of it. And every day I wake up I say, thanks be to God. What does today bring?